Righto, welcome to the Sheldon FootyCast live from West Leederville. We are in our new studios. If you're watching along on YouTube and you're thinking, geez, what an upgrade with laughy face emoji. That's right. We're newly in. We moved in Friday. Dan's been scurrying around in here. Tony's been scurrying around in here to get us live. Skeeter's complaining about the traffic all the way from Mount Lawley. And we are here, though. So it's a work in progress right now if you're watching on YouTube. Skeeter, welcome.
Yeah, but it will be close to my new home. So that's one upside. Yes, it's a new venue, a new facility, but the same old rubbish from us. So the next 30 minutes or so.
Well, that is right. How was the back end of your week last week, mate? Was it good? Did you enjoy have a good week?
What do you... so Friday...
So
I worked at
actually Thursday. No, Thursday we did the Sheldon FootyCast.
Yes.
You had a busy day ahead of you. What did you get up to?
On Thursday?
Yeah, what did you get up to on Thursday?
So I went with my wife who had an offer and I got an offer to go to Skin Avco.
Yep. What's that?
It's a beauty...
So you don't have to hide it because it's...
No, I'm not hiding. I put it up there because if you get something given to you or some sort of treatment, it was probably only right to say thank you. So I did just that. Just as Xavier Ellis did the same thing, but I'm not sure he's copying the same grief that I am.
There's no grief.
I don't want this humour. I've actually... blokes need to... realise that it's not just the women can take care of themselves.
So if you
I'm talking about beauty treatments, by the way. If
you don't know what we're talking about, I truly think this is, of season 2025, I think I think this could be some of the more groundbreaking social media action I have ever seen. Now, I want to say a few things. If you haven't seen it, give Skeeter a follow. I'm not giving you grief.
Well, what's the interest factor?
What was my comment?
What is the interest factor in it?
Okay, so people don't know what I'm talking about. So I just going about my business Thursday, big move ahead of us, lots of things on, people and equipment and tradies, and I just had a little break, jumped on social media, and I see a beautiful photo of you. Beautiful.
Well, Mick, my wife and I were there, and I said, this looks like I'm sitting in some sort of art gallery or something. I don't know. It was
feeling fresh after a visit to Skin Avco.
My daughter wrote that, mother, daughter, yeah.
Great. So this is you after a facial?
No, it's actually called a peel. It's not thunder. So my wife went and got something done called a laser. And let's roll the tape back a fraction. Your wife was there the day before.
Yeah, my wife was.
Yeah.
Yes, she certainly was.
So this is exactly where we're heading down that sort of... I'm too masculine, I'm too macho to this sort of crap. You said to me off camera, I wouldn't be going in there. Yeah. Seriously. Who cares?
No.
You won't get a massage in Bali, you won't get I'll get a pedicure in Bali, and I'll get told to get a pedicure.
I'm not talking about that.
What are you talking about?
You look after yourself. Great.
Yeah. So brilliant. What's the issue? The social media
There's
stuff?
no issue. My comment was, "You're looking good, Skeeter." That's all I said.
I didn't read it.
Do you think that I was being sarcastic?
Oh, really? I thought you were having a crack. It's just fine. I don't care. And all the numbskulls come in and have a crack over the top.
I think it's brilliant. You're in touch with.
No, I'm not. I just went and got a facial and I said thank you. Or a peel. I'll tell you what, though, you know what happened?
Was it good or not?
I'll tell you, all these blokes giving me grief and giving me, a clip. Yep. You sit in that chair, you get Trish to give you the old, the moisturised stuff, and then she gives you the sort of the facial head massage. Yep. I fell asleep. That's how good it is. It was brilliant. That's a compliment, by the way. I fell asleep. She goes, how was that? I said, well, we just started. She said, no, you finished. Anyway, mate, enough of the facials.
Look, I think it's a glow up. I think you've turned the leaf, and it's like
the leaf.
I would like once a week. I need brand deals.
No, I'm not influencer.
Yeah, this is
Tammy Hembrow.
No one's doing this. No one your age are doing this.
Or a male.
Mate, I think you're onto something.
How can I say this in the most polite way? Piss off.
It was just brilliant. So off the back of that, Skeeter,
yes.
Well, I asked a couple of weeks ago people to send me in photos of you and Skeeter in the wild. Look, so they've come in thick and fast. The boys down at a waffle game, obviously coaching with Channel 7, great one. We've got at an auction, obviously some sort of cashy. That's not tiny, is it?
Is it a tiny Holly?
No, it's not tiny.
It's not tiny. I thought it was tiny.
Some sort of cashy, clearly. You've been paid to be there, obviously.
Don't know where that is.
Yeah, that's at the Cass by the looks of things.
When we sand over metal.
Jakey Gasper. And then this is my favourite. This is the last one that came in. And if you do have any more,
Leave it. Yeah.
Shelter FootyCast on Instagram. If you got any brand deals you'd like Skeeter to promote your business, mate.
Seriously.
Well, yeah, seriously.
I take one photo and I've got, I get. It's almost like it's the prehistoric days.
When was this one taken? When was this one taken?
So that's Anna Nicole Smith
with Hugh Hefner.
No, it wasn't Hugh Hefner. No, he's a billionaire bloke who was about 95. So who sent that in, by the way? No, who sent it in? Did you make it up? Or did Tony put that on?
Someone put it on.
Well, I'll tell you what, whoever put it up, I'm getting more than what he probably is.
Oh, all right, deep breath.
We're 10 minutes into a podcast, haven't spoken one word about the footy. Come on, let's straighten things up.
Well, I'm just trying to get you some brand deals, mate.
I don't want brand deals. I just want a holiday.
Peace and quiet. You just want peace and quiet. Leave me alone.
And the pool.
Mate, it was brilliant. And once again, I'll just mate. I wasn't sledging you.
So let me ask you this: if I said to you, "Come with me next week, and we'll get a massage / facial / peel, whatever it is," what would be your response?
If you come and do it with me, and you put socials up like that, I'm in.
Well, I'll tell you what,
because they've said when are you coming in, Scott? They've already come back.
Tricia spoke to me about that in brief. And you wanted me to film it. You wanted me to film it. I'm going. How do you film when you're asleep?
If you and I can be in a room together, like a dual facial room.
Will you shut up? Will you shut up and let me sleep?
If we can do that, I promise I'll come and do it with you. Okay. And we can do a joint post, definitely.
Yes.
I can't wait. They won't be able to put anything on my face.
Have a shave, maybe. Is it going to hurt you to shave once in a while? Maybe change your... I got in trouble last week because I came home from this podcast with a similar type, the shelter, black shelter, and guess what?
What?
My wife said, "Did you go on the?" I had some food on.
I saw it. But I had some too.
Anyway, I copped a lot of grief.
All right, welcome to the Shelter FootyCast. I just had to get it off my chest, to be honest. But well done, mate. Love it, and hopefully more to come forever. That'd be great. Welcome to the Shelter FootyCast. Make sure you're doing your thing. BackChat Ale is still out. Shelterbrewing.com.au. Of course, our partners will be joining us. Heyscape and. All of our friends there at Heyscape, which will be absolutely brilliant. What?
I'm just laughing. Timmy Brady bumping into him yesterday.
Yeah. So you boys go to school together?
Yeah, went to school, yeah. Timmy Brady, very funny man. Very funny man.
So did you boys go to Trinity together?
Yes, yes. So I just came up to me at the footy yesterday. He had the hat on, so I didn't recognise him immediately. But as soon as he spoke, I knew it was Timmy. And good man.
The big moment of the round, of course, from MSH, Mine Services Holdings, maybe a little bit difficult to get to, but I will come up with one, absolutely. Skeeter, some big moments. Probably this one, thanks to MSH, mshph.com.au is where you find all of the big equipment. And the big moment over the weekend, we had no footy. Right, I went to both Waffle games. I want to talk to you about that, Skeeter, in a little bit, because I had a brilliant time at the Waffle both days. Do you call both games?
I did.
So I'll talk about that in a little bit. But in AFL land, I think the biggest story out of the weekend, Jordan Ridley, who has 6 years to run on a deal to 2029, something like that, wants a trade. And not only does he want a trade, he wants to go to Brisbane.
Isn't this how free agency is supposed to work?
What is going on here?
The best clubs get all the better players wanting to go. This is not how it's supposed to work. I'm being sarcastic, clearly. But so he wants out. He's obviously fed up with the strength and conditioning and the fitness side of things at Essendon. So he's made that call. He's had a lot of injuries, a lot of quads from memory, a lot of quad issues. And so he hasn't been healthy for some time. But he is if you're looking at who's in the top 5 players, quality-wise, at Essendon, I think you've got Zach Merritt, a big gap, but he's in that top 5.
So, I mean, that's what's being reported, isn't it? That he's not happy with the strength and conditioning and perhaps the rehab, either facilities or staff. I mean, it's pretty big indictment on Essendon. Now, clearly they haven't been able to put a team on the park this year. And I know, speaking to people involved at West Coast, so they've had injury issues. There's a certain amount of injuries that are unlucky. You'd have to say that Nick Martin doing his ACL, I don't know how much strength and conditioning, rehab facilities you can do to stop your best player probably doing his ACL.
Was that on the AstroTurf as well? Anyway, I'm trying
No, it was in a game.
No, on the AstroTurf just outside the boundary. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember the incident?
I can't either. But
but you're right.
Things like that, it doesn't matter. Like, that's a footy injury and it's bloody unfortunate and it sucks. But then you look at soft tissue injuries and repeat ones, that can be a strength and conditioning issue. It can also be a body makeup issue. Jordan Ridley, like I play with players, like Sam Butler comes to mind, right?
Very much so.
He's one of the hardest working blokes I know. And the strength and conditioning staff at West Coast were the best in the country, yet he couldn't get on the park. Matt Spanger, very similar, right? Two of my best mates. They literally just couldn't get on the park. And it wasn't because they weren't working hard enough. It wasn't because they were doing the wrong stuff probably. It wasn't to do with the staff. It was to do with their body. So what says that Jordan Ridley isn't that guy?
No, but there's too many injuries at the club. Now, I know you're mentioning some, but I suppose that's where the questions are asked. And from an Essendon perspective, you've got to go over the soft cap and have a extra, just go to all lengths to get that right. The problem is, it's going to take them now probably 12 months to find out whether those players are getting injured, some of whom are going, well, can they play? We're not sure because they haven't been playing enough.
So if you're Brad Scott and you're Matt Rosa, I'm assuming that's who would have been in this discussion.
Yeah.
Jordan Ridley walks in and you're thinking, I was talking about getting your body right for next year, and he walks in and goes, I want to trade. I want you to trade me to the Premiers, Brisbane. Clearly, they've publicly said, well, what's the conversation there, do you think? What's Brad Scott and Matt Rosa saying?
I reckon
Are they just flat out going, no?
I think they would have been, I'm guessing, very surprised.
They would have
shocked.
taken it back.
Absolutely, yeah, if that's the first inkling they had of it. Anyway, so that's the first of many, and we've heard over here in the West of certainly at the West Coast Eagles, players wanting trades, etc., and that's going to continue. Charlie Curnow's happy to explore. Michael Voss, I heard him on radio this morning, on SEN, to be honest.
He was a flat-out no.
Yeah, and look, I only heard the back end of his chat with Kingy and Corns. He was really, really interesting. And
give us a little bit of back-end insight.
Well, it was just more about, he was asked about Ollie. I think it's Ollie Holland. Yeah, and basically saying, look, they've invited him to explore his options because in part of his off-field behaviour. So he was quite honest on a number of fronts. The Charlie Curnow thing said, no, he's not going. He's not leaving. And would you take a phone call? No. So, yeah, everything is up for grabs, I think, at the end of the day.
So is it 100% no? Because I've given 2 guarantees of the week that he's on the move.
Yeah. Well, you're on the money that he's keen. But just remember, this is where I think fans want to see the game change. He's got a contract through until 29, I think it is.
Yeah.
So it's now 2025. Hang on. What happened? You've signed a deal. At some stage, clubs and players have to abide by, to some degree, a contract.
Could you argue that Carlton are in a better position at the trade table if they did want to explore it because he has a contract till 29? Like, if he was out of contract next year, their hand is forced. They're like, oh, fuck.
We have to.
He's not signing next year.
Of course it is. Yeah, they're in a better position now.
So I know there's a lot of carry on about these long-term deals and people signing and not signing, and Ridley's probably the one there. But it does at least give the club some bargaining power with their best players if they've got them signed to long-term deals.
Yeah, I get that side of it. I just think, we hear of all these deals, sign 8-year deal for, Mac Andrew, and you've got, Harley potentially long-term.
You can't go with the players.
No, I'm not going at the I'm going at the system, because people go, after 2 years, Will Schofield wants out. You just sign an 8-year deal.
Yeah. That's the club, though.
Well, it's club and player, but the players also agreed to it. The player has chased a long-term deal.
You can't agree to a deal that's not there.
No, I get that.
The clubs put it on the table.
I think people are just, like the Charlie Curnow one, I'm not sure when he signed that long-term deal, but he's 4 years away from completing it.
Ridley's worse.
Yeah.
Ridley had 2 years left to run. They extended him out for 5 years or something, and then he's once out the door 2 years later. Yeah, it's a moving landscape, and I don't know how you fix it other than maybe we just have to accept that this is what happens. I think protecting, cutting these 10-year deals out.
I didn't mind the suggestion that we have maximum 5-year contracts, a bit like I think it's the NBA is. I'm not sure how that
maxi super max deal.
Either way, but the 5-year deal's going back in time. Like Peter Sumich of the Eagles, I think Carl got one 5-year deals back in the early 90s. That was like a monster.
Yeah, give it the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Jeremy Howard still side bottom have signed on for 1 year next year. So
that's smart from Collingwood's point of view.
They seem like they do that pretty well, and there doesn't seem to have to be a lot of carry on about it. It's probably because they're winning though. If West Coast released that they just signed on for 1 year, Kelly, Cripps, Cole Duggan, I don't know, senior players.
But I don't mind that. 1 year deal at the age of some of those players. I think at least Spurs have been very strong in this, and I tend to agree. 1 year deal past the age of 30 is probably, unless there's extenuating circumstances, 1 year's fine.
Just a little one that caught my eye, Skeeter, at the awards. I know you weren't a massive, wasn't setting your world on fire, the all different awards.
It's all Australian, yeah.
Talking about...
That was strange.
Well, no defenders looked after once again. You got, MVPs and coaches awards and most courageous, best... there couldn't have been more awards, nothing about defenders. The Jack Buckley medal is at the Leederville Hotel. I think it's the Brownlow. It's on the Monday. It's on that night. It's on Brownlow medal night, Monday at the Leederville Hotel. It's going to be a ripper. You can get your tickets in our link in our bio on Instagram, on Shelter FootyCast as well on BackChat. Early bird tickets are now available, and we'll look after the backman. I can guarantee that. Bailey Smith was up on stage, was what caught my eye. This is a direct quote from him. It was about a year ago. I got out of a psych ward. I was in Epworth, Camberwell for like 4 weeks, and I got a couple of hours a day out of the ward, and I spent that training. I went through a really dark time. I didn't think I'd get out the other side. No one really had heard that. It's an interesting one, given that he was traded to Geelong and there were question marks about on and off the field. But clearly what he's produced this year, he's going to go close to winning a Brownlow medal. And Geelong's best player who have finished second, they've got him on about $700 grand a year.
Yeah. And look, I think the Western Bulldogs, to be fair to them, they probably, I'm sure they were aware of what he was going through and they kept their counsel. And that was up to Bailey to come out and speak on that front, which he did in a rather unusual setting, I would have thought, but I didn't actually see the speech in its context. So, and I get the only strange one to me was that he was at that place in his head after an injury.
Yep.
An injury, which, again, we've all been through different challenges in our lives, but that for him was something he thought, can I get back maybe to playing top level football? Will I get back? It must have been a few other things going through his head as well. But yeah, it was an interesting revelation.
Mate, I want to touch on the waffle before we get on to the final series for the AFL. Like I told you off the top, I was at both games. You were calling both games. We probably haven't given the waffle the love that it maybe deserves on the podcast this year. We don't touch on scores. We don't touch on players. I just give you shit for working 7 games a weekend. You would know a lot more than me about the game and the players and who's good and who's bad. I don't. Went to the games on the weekend because probably first and foremost, I was bored. There's no AFL on. There wasn't a lot of sport. NRL was pissing me off. So I was like, the waffle's on.
Beautiful weather.
The weather was elite. And I had some connections across both games. Hammer being the captain of East Perth, who was very good, by the way, after a week off.
31-1, I think.
Yep, close to best on with a couple of other hits.
And set the barometer early.
So they beat Claremont at Claremont, and it was the atmosphere was brilliant.
It's good.
Yeah, the stand on one side. They're probably where that new development's going at one end. I hope that there's grass in front of it because on the far side it's a bit skinny.
It's not a great venue for getting crowds in. To be honest
if that end has all grass in front of it and that's a hill,
possibly, that's a good idea. Yeah, no, look, I thought it was terrific, and if you're just talking brief, East Perth were outstanding, and they set Claremont back and they attacked the man and the footy, really hunted well. I thought they deserved their win, and yeah, it was. And then yesterday, my boys, Perth, are winning their first final this century.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that. So at the first, and I want to break the games down less, and I want to talk about getting people to the waffle. That's what I do want to talk about. But just to start, yep, you're right. Perth win their first final in over 25 years.
Oh, well, they've won this century. So it was 97, I think. Perth's second finals appearance since 97.
And that was the other one in COVID?
It was COVID. Yeah. It was an 8-game season. Perth played West Perth beaten. This one was, I think, far more legitimate.
Did we get a crowd number?
Yeah, it was 5-6.
And the Claremont game, can you remember that?
Was less, I think, less, but I think it was still 3 or 4.
Just the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd.
The setup.
But the setup, the crowds, the atmosphere, it was terrific. I know there's a lot of old school waffle people who were there, but as I know you're about to allude to, there was a great atmosphere to bring your kids or come as a bunch of mates and go. And that's, I guess, what the waffle would like to tap into moving forward, albeit it's difficult during the regular season because of the AFL, which takes the spotlight. Right.
So clearly there was no AFL this weekend. So this is what I'm talking about. How do you get people to waffle games? Because my experience, and I'll speak about that first. I've got 2 kids, right? I'm 36 years old. I love my footy. The reason I work in football is because I love footy, and you'd be the same. Like if we didn't enjoy footy, we wouldn't be doing it, right? So there's no AFL on. I'm like, what can I do? I can go watch the footy. took the kids down there for a 7 and a 4-year-old, like to be able to go on the ground every 20 minutes and kick the footy. And
priceless.
There's room to run around. Claremont had a jumping castle and a playground and all sorts of things. And then East Freo had jumping castle. We were sitting next to the jumping castle. The kids were just on and off there. And the space, like, and you compare that to going to an AFL game. Like my wife Alex doesn't enjoy going to AFL games. It's a shit show
because of the restrictions.
Well, mate, you're in a concrete jungle. Yeah. There's nothing for kids to do. The kids get bored. Like the 4-year-old.
You're about 5 or 6 years away from not having to. Yeah, but you're in that period now, that bubble where they need to be doing something.
Yeah, for 10 years there, from probably 3 to 11 years old, they're not going to sit and just watch 4 quarters of the footy while you drink beers and
yeah.
Right. So the waffle, just what environment it is for family. So I'm the perfect person to get to waffle games. I'm a young father who has a sporting family that loves footy, lives in Western Australia. And the waffle fans who love, you're a Perth man, East Perth fans, there was proper rusted on fans there. They're just going to go. You don't need to get more of those in the ground because they're just going to go because they love the waffle. People like me, I don't really care about who's playing. I wasn't there to, because my favourite player was playing or whatever it is. And I think it's going to be difficult to get eyes off, AFL fans and kids who love AFL players to get them to love the waffle and their players. It's a difficult concept.
I've always thought, could we, and it's not going to happen because we just don't have that culture. We've got the NFL and you've got college football, which it's a bit sort of similar in the fact that it's a lower level in the sense that a lot of these guys, obviously kids or young men, are coming through, but trying to in some way replicate that. Now we're different markets, different cultures, but it would be nice to have more support. But I think you're saying, how does the waffle get that more regularly?
Well, mate, I'm on social media. I work in football. I do this and that. I can't recall seeing something telling me to get to the footy and telling me how good it was and seeing a photo of yesterday, half-time, quarter-time. You couldn't move on the ground. I haven't seen a photo on socials. I've seen a couple of random people like me taking photos and it's been reposted. But all the socials on the waffle is game highlights. Waffle people like it. People like me don't care. I'm not getting on the waffle socials to watch a highlight of someone kick a goal. I don't care. I want to go there and have a good time with my family or my friends. So I went there yesterday. There was about 10 of us. We all had kids. It was one of the better days we've had all year. Yet it hasn't been presented to me as someone who is really the exact person you want to get to the footy. So they've either got to increase marketing budgets, they've either got to get their marketing right, they've got to get the experience in front of people better. That means hiring a photographer down on a day like that and making sure you're capturing what's going on the ground and making sure you're getting it in front of my eyes. I don't know exactly what it is. And then the secondary thing is when you play it. Now, clearly, it's an open weekend, right? There's no AFL to compete with. And I did have a bit of a research and I stopped at about round 15 because I was thinking, maybe they're clashing too much. But pretty much, waffle sits outside the home Optus game. They don't clash. Maybe in the first 15 rounds, there was maybe 3 direct clashes for, if West Coast play 2 p.m. on a Saturday, there was waffle games on. That maybe happened 3 times. The other 13 weeks, 12 weeks, there was no clashes. So, setting it up like a college football,
easier said than done.
It's just difficult because you don't control the AFL fixturing.
No, not just that. I just don't think we've got the culture on that basis. And in the middle of winter, it is, yesterday was a weekend was perfect for what it was. And we've had weekends like the WA Day long weekend where we've seen massive crowds at the Derby at Fremantle Oval. So getting that clear airspace. So I've always thought it'd be good to start the waffle season before the AFL season.
Yeah, it started 4 or 5 weeks later, didn't it?
Yeah, it starts later at Easter. Now there's, Luke Sanders at WA Footy has got reasons for that with the clubs and their requests, and obviously marrying up, for instance, for the Eagles and the Dockers with their alignment and having their AFL listed players trying to match up the seasons per se. So it's not a simple fix, but I've always thought, do we start the season a little early, get 3 or 4 weeks in good weather, albeit it's warmer, get more crowds there while there's no AFL happening. Yeah, it's a challenge for sure.
East Freo nailed the setup. They had a better setup than Claremont. They had about 4 can bars. There was the Sullivan Logistics
it was massive,
truck.
wasn't it?
So that was full of Perth people going off.
Yeah.
They had the Carlton dry draft out, shout out Shelter, but they had the tent down the far end. They had the members bar at East Freo, who I will say I was with a couple of East Freo people. There'd been a bit of a hoo-ha there because they put the gym upstairs and they put the bar downstairs. So you stand in the bar at East Freo and you can't watch the footy. They've butchered it. Anyway, so they put the public...
So the gym should be downstairs and the bar upstairs.
Bloody oath, stuff the gym, bloody fitness, just piss that off. Right, so they got the members and then they had another one up near us, like another sort of sponsor. So, they were all packed. There was families there. You could have done both. I'm off the beers for a little bit at the moment, but you could have easily had the kids at the jumping castle while standing having a beer. And as dumb as that sounds, what an awesome weekend to have. So maybe it's just us having these sorts of conversations and letting people know about it. I don't know, Skeeter, but I feel like it's still not getting done well enough from what I saw. And I'm not an expert.
And I'm even less so because I'm not on social media per se. So,
excuse me. Excuse off the week you've had. This is your...
I've had one post having a crack at a bloke over Justin Longmuir. Then I've got a bit of work done on the old the skin. And
it looks good, by the way.
Yeah,
it actually does look good. It does. I'm not... Mate, why do you think I'm being sarcastic?
I have no idea. I find it hard to believe anything.
All right, let's get a little sting in here, Tony. We got one of those on that machine. Great. Will Schofield, Mark Reddy's Shelter FootyCast. Okay, just needed to break that up a little bit, Skeeter. This October, our friends at Shelter are hosting a 2-day festival on the Busselton Foreshore. Beer Hall is the beer festival by the beach, and it's going to be an absolute ripper. The festival is based around the massive Beer Hall marquee, which will be pumping with live music all weekend. Skeeter, this is your pretzel setup, mate. This is the pretzel. Shelter's German chefs Julian and Tom doing an Oktoberfest inspired menu, right? Fresh seafood, amazing food options, and pretzels.
Wow, the seafood. I'm big on the seafood. Love it.
Go to the Shelter website to get more details. Shelterbrewing.com.au. Skeeter, I thought we'd do a little bit of a AFL finals preview, given that it's Monday, no footy over the weekend to talk about. And I thought we'd just have a little look at what it's sort of set up like. We won't break down the teams, but off the back of what the fixturing is, who we think's the best to go and do it, would you give some predictions out, sort of set how that all goes?
Given that a lot of thought over the weekend, as you would expect.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you do after the Perth game? You have a few beers?
Jumped in my car, came home. I actually, after the Claremont game, I went upstairs and met. It was really good, actually, the Claremont.
Yeah, that's a good setup.
It was a great setup and it was really busy. In fact, just in brief, I was there and just had a couple of shelters and in walked a couple of East Perth boys.
Yeah, good.
It was great. And I know it's... AFL can't do it because you're rushing to a plane or whatever.
So do they do their prezos up there?
Yeah. So these Perth blokes were there. Scotty Jones gets obviously standing out. He was, applauding the blokes who won the. I just thought it was good old school, going back in time, and the vibe was terrific. So I know I'm a bit biased, but I thought it was a nice way to finish the day.
I think we've spoken about this before, but when I played Waffle, there was compulsory for any team that I played with to be upstairs for the prezos. Like you can't, mate. As in, like I enforce it. Like you can't play at that level and act. You got to be all. It's a big community. I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly the case. So I thought it was great on Saturday. I just went straight home. So had a lot of people call me. Glenn Jakovic ring up saying how good Summer was helping Mark Stone. Summer's involved. We say coach. He's certainly assisting Stoney at the moment. Okay. But a lot of texts. Michael Brennan texts, being an East Fremantle man, to all my Perth friends. So it was good. I'd left. The change rooms. To be honest with you, that's people that have been there all year, and I'm very happy that they'd won the game. But no, I just jumped in my car.
Scenes down there. Everyone was following them in.
Mate, imagine if that game was at Lathlane Park. Or imagine if they get across the line against Claremont this week.
Well, they look quick. Comparing them both games, Perth looked quick. They had some genuinely fast players that I thought stretched East Freo.
It's actually, and I'm biased. I thought the standard was like the heat in the kitchen on Saturday from East Perth was brilliant.
You know what they need to do? Scrap the Burleys, mate. They need to scrap the Burleys.
Some of the kicking,
No, mate. It's the Burleys. And I really, apologise because I've met the people doing the Burleys.
So what do you change it for? A Sharon?
A Sharon, mate. You can't kick those Burleys. I've experienced that. When we used to talk about it when we were playing AFL, you go back to the Waffle and you'd have to change your kicking style.
What did I kick when I went at Homer Park? What type of ball?
I think that was a Burley. So
I just that hard, is it? Around the body from 20 out with dodgy hamstrings and just slot the goal.
You call both games. There was a lot of flour bags coming.
You're right.
out. And I'm telling you, the Waffle skill level isn't that bad. It's the it's the balls.
And
Mate.
some of the skills were terrific. You're right. Some of the like Bailey Rogers, who's beautiful, a couple of balls that came off his boot. What's happening?
That's a Burley, and I don't know what sort of arrangement commercially they got there, but
you probably upset a few people.
Well, go and okay. If you're upset with those comments, you're listening along, and you're pissed off commercially, go and watch both games, and you tell me how the Burleys are going. It was sickening at times. Absolutely sickening, and it's not the skill level of the players, I can guarantee it. Let's get into the finals, as I tried to introduce before. We got back at the waffle somehow. All right, Skeet, so the matchups are Collingwood, Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. Big game, that'll be Thursday night. Friday night footy is Brisbane, Geelong at the MCG.
Yeah, Geelong hosting Brisbane, yep.
We've got GWS Hawthorn day game on the Saturday at GWS, and then, of course, here... in the Suns' first ever final at Optus Stadium, we've got the Dockers v the Suns. Last year, Brisbane won it from fifth. Mm-hmm. Do we think one of the bottom four sides can win the grand final this year?
I will always defer to the top four being... So, yes, no, I'll say no. But because of the bye in the finals, before the finals, it opens away. I don't like the bye. I think it is a... Almost
momentum killer.
Momentum killer for the season, but also it's a marathon this season, and you get to the home and away end of the home and away season, you finish in the top four. That's the reason you battle your guts out for 23 rounds or whatever it is to try and get a position where you have a significant advantage in the finals. At the moment, every team gets to restock. And that's the same for the top four, but I think it nullifies finishing in the top four. So I still think it'll come from the top four, our premiership team, to answer your question, but I'm not a fan of the bye.
Okay, very good. I'm not either. Since 2000, no team has won from... Fourth, sixth or eighth. So Collingwood, Freo or Hawthorn can't win, apparently. 25 years they haven't won, but one of them will win it, and then it'll just reset the whole thing. I think a team this year can win it from outside the four. Only because, Adelaide's on top. They're unproven at this stage in finals.
Yeah, agree.
Second place being Geelong, for whatever reason, no one rates them, right? Right, or maybe they just don't want them to win.
Soft draw back into the season, people are sort of focusing on that.
Brisbane is in third. They've been inconsistent this year. Their best is probably the best, but they've played at their worst this year. You'd have to think that they're going in a pretty strong position given their list if they get Lachie Neale back.
Yeah.
That'll be big for them. And then Collingwood, they feel like, honestly, in the whole final series, the least informed side in the top eight. Like they scrapped their way in there, but they're finished fourth. So it's like, well, they get the double chance. And then you look at the ones outside. I think Freo's one of the most informed comps in terms of their win-loss record and what they've done. Maybe not how they've played, but they're winning. GWS, I feel like with Hogan and Buckley and Taylor, like they're three big pillars all back. They're such a dangerous side. Hawthorn at their very best, who we saw against Collingwood a few weeks back, they look like they could beat anybody. And the Suns are a wild card at this stage, I think. So the bottom four present more opportunities. Now, this probably happens every year because they don't get the second chance. Like two of them are done this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not as bullish on certainly the Gold Coast can't win it. And I don't think the Giants have got enough continuity. They've got some big decisions to make at selection this week with Stringer, with Buckley with his calf and Kelly with his calf. So I just don't know if they're going to be able to get themselves up and running 4 consecutive weeks to do that. The Dockers, I think, if they'd finish top 4, absolutely. But I just honestly believe that playing from... And look, I hope I'm proven wrong. They've got to win 4 weeks, 1 at home, then 3 on the road to win a premiership.
The 3 on the road's the hard part.
Of course it is. Even 2 on the road's are hard. It's and their form away from home's been great, but doing it week after week after week, well, you know the difficulty factor just heads north. So and the Hawthorn element, they just haven't beaten the best teams at the big moments.
Yeah, I've faded Hawthorn.
Yeah, they've sort of.
They're missing a player or two.
It sounds like Weddle will come back and play this week, but Day's been a big absence for him.
They're missing one quality mid, and the forward line is good without being great. It just feels like they're just missing something in their forward line. Mitch Lewis being a superstar, for instance. Like he's just still, I think, getting his feet back under him after that ACL. So, and Mabior Chol can be good, but he's not always good. You know, they're missing that real Jeremy Cameron, and I know they're not going to go and get Jeremy Cameron.
They played the tool for the four tools at times. But yeah, I'm a bit with you. So on that basis, no, I don't think a top 4 side will not be winning the flag.
And I know you would have put a lot of work into this, Skip, but we're going to go through some predictions of what's going to happen in the finals, right? So I was going to ask you some questions. I want the
off the top of my head?
No, the ones you've prepared.
I'll prepare, yeah, no, I've got them, yeah.
Yeah,
in
great.
the back of my head.
Will anyone go out in straight sets?
Yes.
You want to name who?
No, that wasn't the question.
Who will go out in straight sets?
Who will go out in straight sets? Collingwood, yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. Who makes the grand final?
I'll throw one out there just completely. I'll say Brisbane and Geelong.
I will say Adelaide make the grand final. I'm just looking at how this could work.
Can they play?
I'm going to take someone from the bottom 4. I'll just tell you that. I just want to figure out who they can actually play. Okay, so Freo can't make it, or Freo Gold Coast can't make it.
You said Fremantle 2 weeks ago winning the flag.
I'm
so
just reassessing my prediction. I'll take the Giants. So
the Giants to make the grand final.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what. Did I
Adelaide,
stutter?
Adelaide and the Giants.
Did I stutter?
No, but I think.
Well, who did you say?
I said Brisbane Geelong.
All right, Brisbane. So who wins? How does that happen?
Well, it can happen.
No, I know it can happen.
Well, it doesn't matter how it
they're going
happens.
to play each other twice in the final series, isn't it?
Well,
I know it can happen. I know. Nothing on the waffle. The final the final system's cooked. South Freo get a bye first round. They play effectively in a prelim first round of finals for them, and then they go straight to the grand final. That's just a terrible system.
Hang on, it's so different to what the VFL was for decades, the top 5.
Yeah, I think it sucks.
So what's
It'd be very hard not to win. No, I don't know how to do it.
Oh, you mean as in the South Melbourne very much should be...
I mean, East Perth did it last year, didn't they?
They still lost.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen very often. The only times they've lost in the last 25 years in that system, the person that's done that, played that prelim and then gone into the grand final, is against Peel. Peel's done it a couple of times
And Peel had a stack side.
Both times with the AFL stuff. All right, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
So chuckle along. But I mean,
Adelaide Giants. No, it's just fast. I think you've just taken a dart and just went bang.
Adelaide finished on top of the ladder.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But I have Giants as the best bottom 4 side.
Okay, that's fine.
Fuck, I hope it happens.
I hope Water wins.
Collingwood will win the premiership. You and I have who wins the Brownlow?
Yeah, I've done a lot.
I'm going Matt Rowe's mine.
You know, I do my spreadsheets
Yeah.
of Brownlow predictors.
Yep.
No.
Who's going to win it? Let me guess.
No, I'm just trying to think.
Nick Dacos.
I hope Jordan Dawson wins it.
Okay.
There you go.
Do
But I think
you
Nick
think he's
Dacos
gonna win it?
No, I think Nick Dacos will get enough votes in the first half of the season.
You backed the favourite, have you?
Would you rather back a long price loser or a favourite that wins?
Talking about losers. A couple of them are sitting here. Who wins the Norm Smith medal?
Norm Smith medal? I mean, you don't even know who's playing in the... I reckon between us, we might only get one of the 4 teams in there. Our predictor. Who wins it?
Dawson for me. You reckon Nick Dacos will win it? You're going to out in straight sets?
Hugh McCluggage. Joe Danaher a close second.
Isaac, who wins the Gary Ayres medal?
What's that for?
Best player in finals.
Oh,
Tell us who wins the best player in finals.
That's getting very funky. So that's they're in the finals. When's that announced?
Oh, that's funny. Dawson. What's at the end of finals?
Okay. I'll pick...
For instance, I think Steele Sidebottom won it in 2018, I believe.
I'll pick Max Holmes.
Max Holmes.
I'll just try to throw up something.
Do you have Geelong in the grand final? You do, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And who wins the Rising Star? Murphy Reid.
Well, Murphy Reid, I suppose if I'm going to get out of this studio alive, I may as well. Dan Curtin's had a good year, but he's been terrific.
Yeah. Murphy Reid, well done. Skater, the All-Australian side. That's us for finals predictions, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you're taking notes.
Seriously, if you listen to that last 6 minutes, don't stress about where they're right and wrong.
All-Australian team got named, Skater. I know, again, this isn't on, massively on your agenda, but... just some little quirky bits, I thought. They had 4 midfielders on the bench. Nick Dacos, Bontempelli, Sarong and Rowell. So it's not a real team.
No.
It's not even slightly a real team.
I love the Bont, but he's outstanding. Did he miss about 6 weeks, didn't he? He missed a lot of footy at the start of the year. So I don't mind a system where even, I know some tough calls have to be made, but with the bench, maybe have a defender, a mid, a forward and a ruckman. I don't know, just to...
But it's not like a normal,
But they're not playing a game. So, I mean, it's so easy to do that. Look, and the fact Nick Dacos was the MVP but couldn't get a start is a bit confusing. But the captaincy is the one that, if I'm being honest, that's the one that I'll ask Jacko tomorrow. Just talk us through that.
Can you ask some questions?
Definitely.
Put some to it.
Because
Get something out of it.
I don't understand it. The ceremonial captaincy, we went back to Alex Rance in 2017. We've had Buddy, we've had Tom Hawkins, we've had, that's been, I'm not sure what the reason for that is. Surely the body of work of the captain in the season, whether it's Dawson, whether it's Bontempelli, whether it's Harris Andrews, there might be one more that of Jordan Dawson.
Yep.
These guys, how they have not been rewarded on the basis of that. I just don't understand the Cameron selection totally. It just blows my mind. And again, we'll forget about it in 2 days because finals are here, but that's just weird.
Yeah, I agree with that. 5 club captains were in it.
5. And you can't have one of those as
Andrews,
your captain.
Dawson, Gawn, Anderson, Bontempelli.
Oh, no, Anderson. I forgot it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like there's so much quality. I just don't understand. I'm going to ask Jacko, and he'll defend and deflect. And
Well, get it out of him. You're a journalist.
Well, mate,
now.
well,
Are you
we'll
a
ask
journalist still or not? You're still a journalist? Well, get it out of him.
I don't know what I am. I'm an influencer.
Yes. Yeah, I need you to lean into it.
I will lean into it. I've got 2 hours to lean into it.
AFLPA MVP, Lee Matthews. No, into the influencer style.
Oh, that. No, I'm not leaning into that.
Nick Dacos won the MVP. Coaches Award went to Noah Anderson, Bailey Smith. They split it with Rowell as second and Dacos third. That the MVP is voted by the players, right? And the Coaches Award, I think, will be more like the Brownlow. Players, it's a bit of a popularity vote, to be honest. You sort of sit there in the team meeting room and you're like, oh, who do I like, who do I don't like? So Nick Dacos wins that. The MVP, I don't think, always reflects the Brownlow.
So
Coaches Award a bit closer.
I know the Brownlow had the prestige and all that, but if you're a player, take the Brownlow element because of what it brings in status.
Yeah.
So the MVP is not highly thought of?
It will, voted by your peers, I think it would.
That's what I thought, but you're saying it's sort of...
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying it doesn't mirror the Brownlow.
Oh, no, but you're saying it's more a popularity contest.
Well, because it's players.
Yeah, but you look...
They don't have stats. They don't look up... players aren't looking at stats. Umpires, I would say, they're looking at the games they vote on.
But they don't have stats either?
No, but they're individual games, and it's very specific on
Yes.
that. That's how they think about their votes for each game, and then it's collective of that. The coaches have stats, and the coaches have stats the whole game, and they're very stat-based.
Do they try and sort of massage it so one of
I
them
don't
won't?
think so, no. I think the Coaches Award's probably out of the 3 of them reflective of the best player because they probably understand the game the best. They can see it all because they're trying to stop the, they know it all, whereas umpires are very, focused on the ball, coaches overall. And then the players, mate, the players... You sit there and you think, oh, who's had a good year? That's how you do it.
But I also ask the question, it must be really tough to give you a pick, because when you finish a match, if you asked a player who was best on ground, it would be difficult.
That's what I mean. So if you're sitting there with your phone on a Tuesday arvo, you've just done a session and they're like, give you a 3, 2, 1. You just sit there. This is what I used to like, who's had a good year?
I was concentrating so much on...
Nick Dacos has been pretty good. Yeah, that's how the MVP works. Although it means a bit, that's how it's voted. So I don't know how relevant it is other than just, I guess you're perceived to be a good player. Coach's young player was Sean Manor as a 28-year-old, so that was good.
Does someone not sit down at some stage and go, I know he's...
So he has to be in your first or second year of the AFL. But like, James Podsiadly is,
Yeah, that's sort of a territory.
Sort of strange operation there. But Colin
good player.
Harley Reid was third in that one. Colin McKercher second.
Okay.
A couple of votes behind. That was voted by the coaches, by the way.
Okay.
We've
got the Rising Stars not announced until grand final week. In fact, Brownlow medal night now, I'm told.
Yeah, what's happened there?
I've no idea. You and I
Well, Murphy Reid won the best first-year player.
So that's voted on by?
No idea.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to work out whether that puts him in pole position for the other one, but nonetheless.
All right, we've been talking a lot of smack, Skeeter. Let's get into the questions and comments. It's been a pretty good show.
First show at this new venue.
Yeah, I know. My back's sore. I don't have a table set up. We'll have it set up by Thursday, hopefully. Won't we, Dan?
Yeah, I've got to go.
So we have another insulation up here, and anyway,
I've got underground parking. I'm sitting at Coles. I was
going to say, it's not our underground parking. Okay, very good. Let's get into the questions and comments and finish this one off, Skeeter. What I haven't done is the Heyscape Escape of the Week.
Yes.
The Heyscape Escape of the Week has got to be your social performance, like, seriously.
Why?
Well, I mean, you've escaped with it with free beauty services, and from what I saw in the comment section, you escaped with any real
vitriol.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
there was a lot of there was a lot of.
I don't want to know. I don't
have you looked or not?
No, I haven't. I don't have access to my Instagram.
So thanks to Heyscape, heyscape.com.au, right? So Skeeter's treated himself to a relaxing session.
Skin Avco, who's got some beautiful promotion out of all this.
I was going to say, I've been basically sponsoring this whole segment. So you not only can do that, you can pair it with a weekend away for Skeeter, because just listen to some of, I think this has got to be the Heyscape Escape of the Week. Just listen to some of the compliments here. Like, it's unbelievable. Will Scoville 31 says, incredible scenes. Looking good, Skeeter. T. Carmody says, wow, Skeeter, you are glowing. Slay, king. Paul Persick says, the electrifying Skeeter, styling and profiling. Paul Persick here. The Swinners. Jason Bessie says, oh boy. Another one says, just a battler, Skeeter. Jay McCardle says, congrats, mate.
Congrats.
Dan Conn says, looking amazing, Skeet.
Some bloke said they polished the dome as well.
Bernie says, looking fresh. Skin Avco, it was a pleasure helping you relax. Looking fire, Skeeter. Justin says, are you an influencer now, Mr. Reddy? So I think the escape of the week is you not being absolutely pulled from pillar to post for putting influencer posts up.
Yeah, well, it's a one and done, but I will say this, that you and I, if at some stage I get the chance to take you in there, and we'll
make it happen.
Well, I can make things happen in this town.
Can you make a call?
Just ring Trish, say any chance Zoe will film every part of it and go from there. Now, my Heyscape.
Yes, Heyscape.
Escape of the week.
Yep.
The Mighty Demons. They were down by 21 points yesterday.
Were they?
They won by 29.
I was not paying attention.
They kicked 6 goals in the third quarter.
Saw that.
I'm behind the microphone. I'm trying to be really, and as you should, just keep it straight. And there were times I thought East Fremantle were dominant, but they didn't take their chances in the last quarter. And I think I said without the 27-minute mark, they led by 4 goals. I said, Perth still might be able to get across the line here. And Dave Lindsay and Michael Broadby said, mate, they're home. They're on here. No, they're home, Mark.
Tenterhooks, Perth fans.
Yes, but the scenes afterwards, it was like a grand final. Seriously, it was great. Yep. And it's the best thing for the Waffle to have a team that has had no success to get it. So that's my escape of the week. The Demons. Well played, boys. Stoney.
Heyscape.com.au. Go and get yourself a stay over there. Stays in nature all around Western Australia. They're absolutely brilliant. Father's Day not too far around the corner, so make sure you go and check that out. Skeeter, a couple of comments and questions to finish us off. Peter McLean on YouTube says, the next assistant coach West Coast have to try their absolute best to sign is Mark Choco Williams, one of the best development coaches in the comp. Make it happen, Pikey. So he's been finished up at Melbourne, I believe, this year. He's been coaching in the VFL. He's been coaching for, I don't know, 30 years probably.
Yeah.
Longer.
It's interesting. Is it, would he work at the Eagles? Look, anyone with his sort of footy background is good. I mean, Kenny Hinkley will be in demand and he'll end up, whether it's at Carlton or wherever else. So, yeah, those types in a specific role, I agree.
West Coast are dumb getting rid of Jared Schofield. Pretty sure he has more wins than Mini so far from Bork and Legends on YouTube. Well, I guess the problem there is he's not the head coach. And, one thing I think that I've spoken about a little bit is that, Andrew McQualter didn't get his guys in there, and it is important. And unfortunately, they've never worked together, Jared Schofield and Minion. I'm sure it was probably a pretty amicable discussion. And
it's hard because Scully, to be fair, took on that assistant, the caretaker role, hoping to enhance his chance of getting that position. He didn't, and he finds himself now out of a job 12 months later. And look, assistant coaches in the AFL are not hugely paid. I think we've spoken about this. Not hugely paid. Uncertainty is sky high because of your
tough gig.
Yeah, the head coach obviously and your team's wins and losses. If the team's winning, obviously you're safe, but the head coach gets so much of the kudos. If you're losing, then you're as vulnerable. So I'm hoping Scully gets more opportunities in the AFL system or outside AFL. It's there's life outside it, and hopefully he can find a good role in 26.
Okay, I called Jared about 4 times yesterday. It was good.
You called him?
No, people regularly call me Jared.
Oh,
Jared
really?
Schofield.
Oh, you got called Jared?
Yeah, I think my name's Jared. Anyway, hey lads, after seeing the Legends game yesterday and seeing the generational performance you have both put up in recently in front of goals, I can't help but think you'd both be a lock-up forward in the next Legends game, Skater.
No, well,
That's from Sam via email.
I reckon I'd be like Dave Hughes at the end of it. I reckon I had 5 broken ribs and a puncture.
See that?
Do you reckon I didn't see the match, but do you reckon that's going a bit hard on the... He's only a slender...
Looks like he's made
comedian.
Of bloody matchsticks.
Yeah, I think he went to the jungle and he didn't put his weight back on.
I mean, you and I...
Oh, okay. I'll get a bit of patting. You're losing weight because you're eating meat and not drinking beer, so you're on track.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when we're going to see the old Scully back, but I want it back
pretty soon. pretty soon. You know, open up the floodgates for the entire summer. I reckon. I'm going to start from a way back. Skeeter. How about those mighty red legs I've been taking? Is that the...
That's Perth, yeah.
Why are they called the red legs?
Because I've got red socks. Well, what else do you want to say?
I've been taking my little man to home games this year as it's near home and a good way to spend the arvo with him. There's been more good games than bad at home this year, but that elimination final was a cracking game of footy by any measure, AFL or waffle. Do you give them any chance against Claremont? And how was it calling your side winning a final after decades? Cheers from Joel.
Thank you, Joel. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a Perth supporter and we've had no success. I think no one begrudges the Demons having a victory or two. Obviously, Claremont will be tough opposition. So,
a bit like the Giants, like everyone's second team, the Demons.
Yeah, maybe. But we've obviously got a proud history going back to the 60s and 70s, but that's 60 years ago almost now. So, Claremont's going to be tough. They've got a quality side. Perth led by 8 goals against Claremont a couple of weeks ago and got rolled, yeah. You think you're right, though. The pace of Perth, it might trouble Claremont. And I'm hoping for another good game because it just adds another dimension to have the Demons going well in the Waffle Final Series. South Fremantle team to beat East Perth going well. So, hopefully we see another 2 cracking games this Saturday, Sunday.
Will it be at Claremont?
Yes, it will.
Stupid question. All right.
Sunday.
East Perth will play South Freo at South Freo.
On Saturday, yes.
Okay.
So the winner of that game goes through to the grand final and then Claremont and Perth, whoever takes that out, heads to the
Who's the Sunday game?
Claremont, Perth.
All right, I'll see you there. Skeeter, thanks very much. Well done. Thanks to Heyscape. Thanks to MSH. Your big moments with big projects at MSH, mshph.com.au, as well as Heyscape. For all of your stays, combine what you've been doing, relaxing off the field, Skeeter, with relaxing in nature, heyscape.com.au, Skeet.
Yep, 3 days before the finals, we can stop talking about my skin and focus on the finals. Thank you.